Hello there. Today, I want to talk about COVID-19, the coronavirus. We are now in the midst of a pandemic. And although you may feel fearful and anxious about this reality, the very worst thing you could do is panic. Instead, you want to do the exact opposite, and here's why. When you react out of fear, your body is in fight or flight mode. When it comes to fighting pathogens, your body prioritizes safety first and foremost. In other words, it's far more important to outrun danger or fight for your life than it is to fight a virus. Your body prioritizes your safety over immune functions. So as long as you're in fight or flight mode, your immune system goes on hold. The best way to protect against disease is to promote the vibration of love. Love is the opposite of fear. This means allowing yourself to experience the feeling of love flowing through your body. It means loving yourself deeply and extending that love to others, especially in this time of uncertainty. This looks like practicing self-care and self-love daily. This is the time to master your own self-care so you can be a model of how to do this for your children. They're going to remember how their home felt during the time of the coronavirus pandemic more than anything about the virus. They are watching us and learning how to respond to uncertainty. The most important thing you can do is to act from a place of love and not from a place of fear. This means instead of fighting for rolls of toilet paper in the grocery store aisle, ask yourself, what would I do if I were kind and loving? Or how would I act in this situation if I were acting out of love and kindness? This is what the world needs more of right now. The circumstances we are all faced with respect to COVID-19 are likely going to get worse before they get any better. If you find yourself feeling anxious or extremely fearful, take a deep breath and hold your breath for 10 seconds. Then exhale with a sigh. Close the back of your throat slightly to create a windy sound. Your body remembers this sound and associates it with relaxation. This is one of the fastest ways to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which conserves energy and slows the heart rate. It also increases intestinal and glandular activity, which is crucial for immune function and digestive function, which are specific to COVID-19. Coincidentally, Taiwan experts have just released a simple self-check for indicating early stages of the virus, which includes inhaling deeply first thing in the morning and holding your breath for 10 seconds. If you complete this without any discomfort, stiffness, or tightness, etc., it proves that there's no fibrosis in the lungs, basically indicating no infection. The coronavirus will not show signs of infection for many days. By the time you have a fever or a cough or go to the hospital, the lungs can be 50% fibrosis, and it's too late. With COVID-19, nasal congestion is not like the normal kind. You feel like you're drowning. It's imperative to seek immediate medical attention. Everyone should know the following things that I'm about to discuss here because they support the body's ability to heal itself, regardless of what type of virus or bacteria you come into contact with. This just may be the silver lining of COVID-19. People are being forced to take their health seriously and to learn how to care for themselves better. And really, how can you help anyone if you can't help yourself? The number one most courteous, kind, and loving thing you can do for yourself, your family, friends, and others in your community, frankly, whenever you're sick, is to self-quarantine. That means stay inside and don't expose yourself to other people. This will drastically decrease the potentially exponential spread of COVID-19, which could overwhelm local hospitals, and is the primary reason that this protocol is being implemented in the first place. Number 2, this virus enters the mouth and it begins to proliferate in the back of the throat. The back of the throat is the breeding ground for most pathogens. This virus in particular proliferates there in the back of the throat for approximately 4 days while you're unaware of symptoms until the virus makes its way into the airways and begins to attack the lungs, presenting a very particular type of pneumonia characterized as extremely sticky phlegm, like a roadblock in the chest. Many patients don't even cough very much. It presents as a dry cough and this quickly forming thick phlegm is beyond your ability to expel through coughing. The key is to moisten this cough. Chinese medicine has taught for millennia that there is a deep energetic connection between the lungs and the large intestine, a yin-yang pairing. This overwhelm of the lungs will make its way to impact and possibly be resolved through the large intestine. Reports from China do include this characteristic roadblock lung scenario, coupled with relative constipation or incomplete elimination from the bowels. Again, you have to lubricate, hydrate, and keep your qi moving. Basically, we want to create movement and flow of the qi through the body with a series of practices that I'm about to discuss next to ensure that you will be amongst the 96 to 99.5% of the people who can survive exposure to COVID-19. It will be particularly important over the next few months to live on a diet that protects against mucus, phlegm, and what is called dampness in Chinese medicine. I have to start by saying that smoking is probably one of the worst things you could do when it comes to supporting the function of your lungs and the natural moisture that they contain that makes it possible to function properly and remove any foreign matter or pathogens that may enter them. So, this would be a great time to quit smoking if you're a smoker. If you rely on cannabis, consider switching to edibles for the next few months. Whatever you do, don't let your mouth get dry. This is the number one thing to avoid. Take sips of water every 15 minutes or so. This will prevent the virus from entering the lungs. If swallowed, it will usually be killed by your stomach acid, if you have enough. Some people who take antacids will not have enough stomach acid, and the virus will make its way into the intestines. The coronavirus incubates in the back of the throat for about 4 days before it travels into the lungs and digestive tract. Be sure to drink lots of hot teas and spring water at room temperature, not cold water, so that you can stay very hydrated, and do not let your mouth get dry again. Drink about 1 ounce of water for every 2 pounds of body weight as a general rule of thumb. Gargle often with warm salt water and vinegar, and drink hot water with lemon juice and slices of fresh ginger root. This will help you stay hydrated and also help prevent the growth of pathogenic bacteria in the throat. Avoid eating things that create stickiness or phlegm. The key sticky foods are sugar, dairy, and breads. This means drastically reducing your intake of all sweets. This is a good time to eliminate dairy from your diet. Dairy promotes the production of mucus or phlegm and constipation. Other top contributors are pizza, pastry, bagels, cookies, cakes, candy, etc. Grains themselves are not so bad, but avoid sticky breads like pizza and bagels. They're high in gluten, which is literally the Latin word for glue. Instead, have rice, corn, millet, buckwheat, quinoa, amaranth, oats, barley, and rye. Be sure to keep your digestive tract healthy, as your immune system is located in your gut microbiome. It is also the epicenter of inflammation, which is ultimately the most deadly side effect of this virus, which travels through the digestive tract. If you have a leaky gut, proteins and all sorts of other particles like viruses can leak out into your bloodstream, causing inflammation and sepsis, which is ultimately the cause of death from COVID-19. So while chips, frozen pizza, and beer may be your comfort foods, this could be the perfect opportunity to surrender to discomfort and begin the process of repairing your gut lining first and foremost. The most beneficial foods for repairing a leaky gut are homemade bone broths and meat stocks. This is the perfect time to make hearty soups and stews with lots of fresh vegetables part of your daily diet. This is an opportunity to make healthy meals with your family and avoid eating out. This will reduce your exposure to people, and it will reduce your risk of transmitting the virus through the people who handle your food. It's important to avoid sugars and carbohydrates, as these foods promote the overgrowth of pathogens and weaken the immune system. Instead, eat lots of dark green vegetables, which are high in antioxidants and essential nutrients. Limit grains, as they're high in carbohydrates too. Avoid frozen, canned, and pre-made, prepackaged foods, as they're high in carbs and void of nutrients. Most of all, Convenient foods also contain unhealthy oils, which are toxic to your body, like chips, crackers, bars, baked goods, cookies, pizzas, etc. These contain refined oils, such as peanut oil, hydrogenated vegetable oil, canola oil, soybean oil, corn oil, and MCT oil, just to name a few. These oils wreak havoc on your gut lining and they damage your liver. After you oven roast or steam your vegetables, which will kill any pathogens, be sure to add plenty of healthy fats to them, such as butter, ghee, or olive oil after they're cooked. Remember, never cook with olive oil. It destroys the delicate fat molecules and turns it into a toxin. Cold pressed olive oil is a very healthy fat, but you must keep it cold or it destroys the molecular structures. You spend good money on cold pressed oils, so keep them cold. If fresh produce becomes difficult to find, be sure to have green smoothie mixes or powders on hand that contain things like chlorella, spirulina, blue-green algae, and other foods that are high in chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is what makes green plants green. These foods are highly detoxifying and will help to expel the virus more quickly. Also consider adding nutraceutical mushrooms to your smoothies and hot drinks, as they help to modulate the immune system in a very profound way. These can be found in powdered form and easily added to smoothies, hot drinks, and teas. Some of my favorite mushrooms include reishi, cordyceps, chaga, maitake, and lion's mane. Be sure to eat plenty of fermented foods, and if you don't have access to things like sauerkraut, then consider taking a probiotic in a capsule form. You can even open the probiotic capsule into your mouth and hold the powder under your tongue before you go to bed. This will enhance the microbiome of the mouth and throat and will help prevent the growth of bacteria in the back of the throat. Number 6, vitamin D is crucial for immune function. The coronavirus also hates sunlight and it will be killed quickly when exposed to sunlight. Being outside in nature, in the sun, is the safest place to be. Get adequate sunlight on your skin or consider taking a supplement. Along with vitamin D, ask your healthcare provider about vitamin C and zinc supplements. If your healthcare provider does not recognize the benefits of these nutrients, I would have to say that it may be high time to change doctors and find one that understands the science of nutrition. Consider looking for a functional medicine doctor or naturopathic doctor. Number 7, sleep. It's very important that you're getting plenty of rest and sleep. If you're not sleeping, you're not healing. It can be very helpful to drink a relaxing herbal tea about an hour before bedtime. I personally drink a blend of lemon balm, catnip, chamomile, marshmallow, passion fruit, hops, and skullcap. I also recommend taking a hot bath with Epsom salts and a cup of apple cider vinegar right before bedtime. The Epsom salts contain magnesium, which is readily absorbed through the skin and into the bloodstream and is very relaxing. The apple cider vinegar helps to remove toxins from the body. Immediately after your bath, climb right into bed. And as your body temperature begins to drop, it will trigger your brain to fall asleep. This is a mandatory sleep ritual for me that cannot be skipped in the evenings. See how well it works for you. And finally, number 8. Along with washing your hands and keeping surfaces clean and disinfected, to prevent airborne transmission of pathogens, open your windows in your home and office. I happen to live in a community home with 7 other people, so these steps are very important for all of us to follow. You want to create air movement in your home with fresh air from outside. Crack open at least 2 windows to create a cross draft in the house, even if it's cold outside. You can also use a diffuser with essential oils or light some sage daily and burn it throughout your house. These are strange and unusual times, I must say. I've never experienced anything like what's going on right now in the world in my lifetime. So stay calm, be loving to yourself and others, and know that everyone else is struggling just like you are. Have a good day.